It has already been a year since I got introduced to now one of my favorite game series, being Persona. And when I 100% completed Persona 3 Reload and episode Aegis, I immediately started with Persona 4 Golden. Now, before I started playing this game, I literally didn't know a single thing about this game. Except for this fella. And while it took me nearly 5 months to finish the game, the journey was absolutely peak. Persona 4 Golden has surprised me so much, with the really good story, the music, but formerly the characters, who kind of felt like real friends at the end of the game. Therefore, I wanted to share my thoughts and some of my high points on this game. And now that Persona 4 Revival has been announced a couple of months ago, I found it the perfect time to talk about Persona 4 Golden. One of the greatest things of Persona 3 Reload, in my opinion, is its story and dark themes. So you can already imagine this was quite a transition. I mean, the story itself is still kinda dark, with people getting thrown into TVs and bodies being discovered in strange places. But in this game, there are way more heartfelt moments with the party. For example, they go to the beach, where some things happen that I do not want to talk about. And also maybe my favorite trip of the game being the ski trip at the end of the game. Also, I found the story really interesting. It was really interesting to see the quiet Inaba transform into a town with strange murders happening. Around the same time as the first bodies begin to be found, a strange rumor spreads amongst the students at school. They say if you stare into a turn of TV at midnight during a rainy night, you'll see your soulmate. Well, that was a lie. I found this a pretty cool concept, and dare I say that the TV world is way more fun than Tartarus. But when Yu Norakami tries it for himself, he finds himself being pulled into the TV. Together with Yosuke and Chie, each with their own struggles, secrets, and inner thoughts, he forms a group and they call themselves the Investigation Team. Kinda banger, but okay. Each time someone goes missing, they're thrown into this TV world, and if they're not rescued in time, they die. As the Investigation Team dives deeper into the case, they begin confronting not just shadows or other bosses, but their own insecurities and feelings. Each member faces a version of themselves they'd rather not admit exists. Versions that come to life in the fog. Accepting these sides is key to unlocking their persona, a powerful manifestation of their true self. And dare I say, at the beginning of the game, I needed to get used to the glasses. It was kinda weird not seeing the characters shoot themselves. One of my favorite moments in the entire game is when a character accepts their other side, because it is just so personal to each character. But mainly, this song is just so freaking good. All in all, I quite like the story. The game also had some plot twists near the end of the game, and different endings with different outcomes. So I can definitely say that the story was really intriguing. When I finished Persona 3 Reload, I firstly was an emotional wreck, but secondly already missed the characters of the game. And yeah, the same happened with Persona 4 Golden. And I found it maybe even more difficult to say goodbye to the Investigation Team and to Inaba. I have had this with many games, that when it's actually over, it's so hard to say goodbye to the world. But I finished Persona 4 Golden after 80 hours exploring Inaba. And when you just spend that much time with them, they literally feel like actual friends. I mean, you've laughed with them and see their happiest moments, but also their saddest moments. As I previously said, one of my favorite sections of the game is when they face themselves and are accepting that the shadow of them is a part of who they are. But also just the funny interactions between some of the party members, like Yosuke destroying Chie's DVD, or Teddy who just wanted a little smooch. Yeah, this bear got on my nerves. I just loved almost all the characters. Teddy was the only one who annoyed me so much, but even he got a place in my heart. But I also think that's part of his character. I mean, every party member is sometimes annoyed by something dumb that he says, but they all have a soft spot for this bear. Look at him! He's so cute! I just really like this friend group, and I really like that every character has some importance or is relevant. Everyone has something that makes them really special, and that's what I really like about this cast of characters. And when I needed to say goodbye, it kind of felt like leaving my second home. The dungeons in Persona 4 Golden are kind of mixed for me. On the good side, I really like how each dungeon actually represents and reflects the character you're trying to save. It's not just a random dungeon. It feels really personal and feels like kind of a visual of their inner struggles. For example, Yukiko's castle felt tied to the story and made me already more connected with Yukiko before I even had her in my party. Also, maybe the best thing about the dungeons is the music. I mean, one of the two songs that I knew before I played this game and absolutely adored was Heaven. And oh my god, this song and the dungeon are so freaking good. But I also really like the battle themes, like Reach Out to the Truth, and I'm so sorry, but at Rise's dungeon, I shake my hips. This is a freaking banger. I mean, sorry, can you make the music louder? What the fuck? Plus, I love how you can go at your own pace. If you want to do the whole dungeon in one day, you can. But if you want to spread it out, it's also completely fine. I tried to beat all dungeons in one day, and I can remember in Yukiko's castle, I had literally almost no special power anymore. So I defeated a ton of shadows on the first floor before I had enough special power to even stand a chance against Shadow Yukiko. I think the biggest issue is that the layouts get repetitive really fast. Most floors are just randomly generated hallways space with a few rooms on each side, so sometimes it felt like I was just running in circles and couldn't find the stairs to the next floor for a whole 10 minutes. But it also sometimes was literally the first room I entered. There wasn't also a great variety in the enemies each dungeon had. I mean, I completed all the side missions, and for some I needed to defeat rare shadows in specific dungeons. And there was this one quest that took me 6 freaking hours to find those items. So I literally sat there running around in the dungeon, attacking every shadow I saw and escaping from it as soon as I saw that it wasn't the one I needed. Also, I was in luck that I did those side quests, and because of that it was really easy to grind those shadows. But if you were under-leveled or unprepared, some bosses can be a real pain. Overall though, the dungeons work because they're so personal and tied to the characters and story. I actually wasn't really bothered to do them, only the video game, because I just hated that guy. Okay, I can finally say that the Persona series wasn't just a one-hit wonder with the OSTs, because the music of Persona 4 Golden is just chef's kiss. The game knows exactly how to set the mood for every moment in a story. I mean, the battles and dungeons were sometimes really repetitive, but the music literally saves them from being really boring. Except for Yukiko's castle. I don't know if it's just me, but I got really scared because this track is just so freaking loud. But about Heaven, when I first entered the dungeon Heaven, I had a smile from ear to ear for the entire dungeon. In this dungeon, I was also actively trying to avoid shadows as much as possible because I just wanted to listen to the song. As I said, I already knew this song and it's so good. Another core memory for me playing this game is about the other song that I already knew before playing the game. And it may be my favorite Persona track as of now, being Snowflakes. And when I first heard the song in the game and realized it was going to be the song that you are going to hear when you're exploring Inaba, I was just so shocked but so happy. Also, before playing the game, I just liked the song and just the feels. But when I was playing the game and I heard the song, it felt like saying goodbye to Inaba and all the people you've met in the last year, which gave this beautiful song a lot of meaning for me. Those two songs are my favorite of the whole OST, but there's one other song that has a lot of meaning for me. That being Glimpse of Memory. Since I was a little kid, I had always found a pretty fascination for title screens of video games, because it just gives you the first real impression of a game, besides trailers or screenshots. And oh my god, what a beautiful song. I can still remember when I fully listened to this song for the very first time, and the time after I had beaten the game. Yeah, it is just really special. But all the other exploration songs, like Heartbeat Heartbreak, Signs of Love, Your Affection, those are so freaking good. And of course, the really iconic Who's There, which made me really anxious every freaking time it came on. One of the best parts of Persona in general for me, as of now, are the social links. They just make the game feel so alive, and when I played Persona 3 Reload, I was really invested in the social links. And now in Persona 4 Golden, I found the social links in general even better. The only downside for social links in Persona 4 Golden was that you freaking got blinded every time you ranked up a social link. It was crazy how bright the screen was. Every social link had its own little arc, and I just really liked how different they all were. Some were really wholesome while others were heartbreaking. I just really liked all these little stories. Also, a thing I didn't really like was that only the max level of each social link was fully voiced. I mean, they for sure are going to do it in the remake, but in Persona 3 Reload, it just made the characters and the stories more memorable for me. I also felt like social links were more important in this game. In Persona 3 Reload, the party members will get a new persona if they went through a painful time and decide to move on and fight for them. But in Persona 4 Golden, the personas will upgrade when you reach max level of their social link. Also, the social links of the party members give them so much backstory. And watching Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko and the rest of the team open up to you outside of the main story made me appreciate them even more. If I had to say one other downside that's also in Persona 3 Reload and will for sure be in Persona 5 Royal when I am going to play it, is that maxing every social link in one playthrough is nearly impossible. It's really hard. I mean, in Persona 3 Reload, it was literally almost impossible without looking it up on a guide, so I was really happy when I completed all social links literally on one of the last days of my first playthrough. The most social links were quite good. There were also some social links that felt really weak compared to the rest of the social links. I'm thinking of the Devil Arcana, Hermit Arcana, and Empress Arcana. I mean, the Empress and Hermit Arcana makes sense, since you don't need to spend time with the character to improve your social link. You just need to do a specific side quest. And that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on Persona 4 Golden. This game really surprised me in so many ways, and gave me the same feelings as when I played Persona 3 Reload for the very first time. With Persona 4 Revival on the horizon, I'm even more excited to dive back into Inaba someday and relive all these moments again. But for now, I will treasure the time with Persona 4 Golden, and when I have some free time, I really want to give Persona 5 Royal a try really soon. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble about Persona 4 Golden. This game is something really special and I just really enjoyed the game. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and please let me know in the comments when your favorite memories are from your time in Inaba. And hopefully till the next time. Goodbye!